Voodoo is a religion combining Catholicism and West African animist beliefs. Animalism, from Latin anima, breath, spirit, life. The belief that plants, animals, and objects have spirits. Where is it located? Voodoo is dominated in Haiti, but is practiced in West Africa, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and America. Louisiana voodoo has been influenced by the Roman Catholic Church as well as the French, Spanish, and Creole people. History of voodoo. Voodoo emerged in the 16th century during the time of enslaved Africans and their relatives in the Spanish Caribbean colony in Santo Domingo, which eventually became the Republic of Haiti in 1804. Voodoo has roots in West Africa, but the religion has believed to be African-derived. Voodoo is diffused monotheism. The sacred power of Banadi, good God, or Gamad, great master, are called the Iowa. Nice, Morgan, and you are?
I'm Caitlin.
Nice to meet you. And why do you believe in voodoo, like the herbs and medicine stuff?
Sure, yeah. Voodoo is actually a series of religions that all have roots in the African slave trade. So there's actually a fair amount of people here in New Orleans who still practice some of the traditional African religions.
And do you practice it?
I do, yes.
What is voodoo?
Voodoo, it's like an umbrella term for a series of religions. The quick and dirty is that all of these different African tribes were brought over to the New World to be enslaved. And these different tribes, each of them had their own culture and religion. So when they were forcibly mixed together under slavery, a new religion was born. And here in New Orleans, there's a religion called New Orleans Voodoo that's very specific to the history of slavery here and reflects the influences of the African tribes that were brought here to this port, as well as Catholicism, because all the slaves were converted to Catholicism.
And do you think people have given voodoo a bad name?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lot of fear and a lot of demonization because it's not a very widely practiced religion. And also because some of the first people to study the voodoo religions were the slavers themselves, as well as missionaries. So they were already kind of coming from a perspective of seeing how people were worshiping the devil, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think voodoo actually does for people?
The same thing any religion does. You know, it helps people connect to themselves spiritually and to God. The God that we believe in, by the way, is the God of the Bible, including the Trinity. So I would say that a lot of it, in terms of how it affects people, is very similar to how it affects Catholics.
And when and why did you start believing in voodoo?
It's really hard to answer because I didn't choose to believe in it. It just was the religion that I guess fulfilled me spiritually.
So you were like born into it, or?
No. I do have Haitian family, so that was definitely an influence. But I don't know. I've always kind of believed in that sort of thing, and it just sort of happened organically.
And do you just heal people, or?
No, I mostly keep to myself with my practice. It's kind of like, not every Christian is called to be a priest.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has to have like a communal sort of effect. There are people in the community who do work with medicines and herbs, but it's not really seen as a supernatural thing. It's more of a, before there was mainstream medicine, a lot of people were using what was available, which would be the plants. So there definitely are still people around who do that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how many different groups would you say there are in voodoo?
Different religions?
Different religions, like healing, all that sort of things.
I mean, there aren't really any concrete roles in voodoo. Everybody just does what they feel that they're talented at or that they're comfortable doing. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. There's high priestesses and there are lay people. It's very, very similar to a church congregation.
My favorite thing about voodoo is to find myself in it ever since I was a little girl. to find my mom serving the spirits, and the only thing she's been doing is helping people. She has never killed not even a bird. And yet I hear all the time that we kill people, and it's against our religion, it's against our belief. Because if we would kill somebody, then we're no longer spiritualist, we're no longer pure, because we wouldn't be able to heal people anymore. But yet it's always easier for people to say that we kill, yet we're not allowed to do so. And the only thing we really care about is helping people to have peace and have joy and to have the lives that they wanted. And I've been doing it ever since I was 15 years old with my mom. And yet we still haven't killed anybody. And we don't plan on doing it, because if we do kill someone, we would pay for it. The consequences would be very bad, because the spirit would turn their back on us. And I don't think nothing in this world is worth to have the spirits turn their back on us, because we don't put nobody on earth, and it's not wise to remove either. It's up to God, and He's the one who makes the decisions who goes and who stays. And I think the best thing for me is to be able to teach people that my life is not what it seems to be, especially that I was raised in voodoo, and I want people to know that ignorance is not key. Do some research, read a little bit, before you judge, try to find out what is it about, because we all have our own culture. We all have our own tradition. If we can respect the Italians as being the Pope and the Catholic and so on, why can't this black country have its own religion? And it's not just ours, it's based from Africa, and Africa is a big country. And why not give us a chance to be who we were supposed to be? We've been fighting for so long, and I think we deserve a little bit of respect. Just let us be who we were meant to be by God, because we're all different. Why judge us? Let God do it. And we all deserve a place in this big world. And I think that's what I'm fighting for. I'm thriving to have my niece, which is the 5th generation of La Belle Esterial, to be able to stand and be proud to be a voodoo priestess and talk about her generation and talk about who we are and what we do and how we can be there for other people. And I just want people to know that voodoo teaches us how to love one another, be there for one another, and don't never let each other down. Don't betray your sisters and brothers. If they have a problem, you stand by their side and fight till the end. And that's what it does. We're here to help and be there for one another. And people don't understand. They seem to think that we're devil worshippers ready to kill. And that's not what it's about.
The Caribbean island of Haiti is the home of Voodoo. It's a religion based on a belief in the spirit world. And it has a dark side, practiced by witch doctors who are greatly feared.
Yes, I've seen zombies. I've seen someone who has died and come back to life.
We can raise zombies up in front of people and they will see. They will believe in their heads. They will believe in Haiti.